the driver's seat. Phoenix has guaranteed themselves that edge throughout the playoffs. The Sonics had a big showdown with the Rockets with a #2 seed at stake. Houston's Rudy Tomjanovich was wary of his surroundings as the Rockets landed in Seattle for a possible second-round preview. Gary Payton drops in a short jumper as the Sonics grab a 23-16 advantage. Sean Kemp's high-flying antics had Seattle soaring and the Rockets sputtering and down by 10. But Houston responded. Vernon Maxwell's three makes this a 2-point game at the half. Hakeem Olajuwon has an extraordinary defensive arsenal, and he padded his league lead in block shots by collecting 8 more at the Sonics' expense. Houston goes on a 13-2 run in the fourth quarter, which is capped by a Matt Bullard three, which gives George Karl a headache, and the Rockets a 5-point win on the road. Dallas was still in search of a 10th victory to avoid the NBA's futility record when the Kings came to town. In the opening period, Derek Harper got the Mavs into a gallop. Brian Howard's cram put the home team up by 9. Anthony Bonner came up with a loose ball in the lane, and he took a coast-to-coast stroll in the middle of a 17-4 run that put Sacramento up by 1 at the break. With Dallas down by 3, Derek Harper launched a turnaround bomb from downtown to force this one into OT. Lionel Simmons got an off-balance runner to fall as the Kings went up by 2 in the closing moments. Harper tried to make lightning strike twice, but his shot caromed off the iron as the Mavs fell 108-107 in overtime. The Eastern Conference race is still up for grabs. The New York Knicks now hold a 1-game edge on the Chicago Bulls. These teams meet the last day of the season. The Celtics beat the Nets this week and should finish with the 4th seed. Detroit and Orlando have slipped 2 games off the pace for the last 2 spots with a week to go before the playoffs. Indiana's won 7 of 10 in a late charge. Atlanta was the scene of a college reunion between Larry Johnson and Stacey Augmon, and 6th place in the East was at stake. In the first quarter, Alonzo Mourning's hustle on the offensive glass leads to a jam and a 35-all deadlock. Dominique Wilkins displays his usual flair. Despite a 21-point first-half outburst, the Hawks trailed 61-59 at the break. Neek's short jumper in the lane was the finishing touch to a 41-point performance, and it knotted the game at 104. With less than 30 seconds to play, Larry Johnson spins past Kevin Willis to the baseline and converts the front end of a 3-point play as Charlotte marches through Atlanta and into the 6th seed with a 110-107 victory over the Hawks. Miami's Kevin Lockery knew that the Heat were precariously perched on playoff extinction as they entertained Boston. Glenn Rice knocked out 3 of his 11 first-quarter points to help Miami to a 26-22 jump. D. Brown's Trey capped a personal 9-0 run to end the half with the Celtics on top 49-46. In the third quarter, Sherman Douglas flips a beautiful lob to Reggie Lewis as Boston continues to roll. But Steve Smith launched a Miami comeback with his swipe and is also on the receiving end of a perfectly executed break as the Heat takes a 6-point lead. Reggie Lewis torches ex-mate Brian Shaw as the Celtics surge back to within 3. Lewis's jumper for the lead is off the mark, but McDaniel's there for the tip as Boston virtually extinguishes Miami's flickering playoff hopes with a 103-100 win. Hold on, folks. It's time to rewind.
With just a little push, we are off and rolling for Rewind. Saturday in New Jersey, it's Mark Price to a wide-open Danny Ferry. He buries the jumper and beats the Nets. And right now, Chuck Daly is not only mad, he's a little sore after that fall. Sunday, here's Patrick Ewing going off on the Celtics. And did you ever notice what the Knicks PA announcer says when Patrick makes a shot? Patrick Ewing, pass of the week. Gary Payton through the legs to Ricky Pierce, who knocks it down. Here is another between the legs move. The kid's still on a roll. Monday, Paul Westphal. You talking to me? Well, I can't make out what you're saying. Maybe he's telling this lady to stop dancing. Here is a missed jam session. Scott Williams clanked it. Then Latrell Sprewell hits nothing but iron. The ref said, hey, you need a breath mint, baby, to the locker room. I have heard of trying to strip somebody, but wait a minute, that's ridiculous. Here's a big hit from Tony Bennett, but we should point out it's the player, not the singer. Hey, Ron Harper, that line wasn't all that funny. Tuesday in Orlando, it's Dennis Scott hitting from the parking lot on his way to 9 trays. One shy of the record. And where have you seen this before? It's Mark Price to Danny Ferry, and this time Ferry helped shoot down the Hawks in double OT. Wednesday, don't ever trust anyone in a gorilla suit. He'll take you for a walk and then make a monkey out of you. Slam dunk champ Harold Miner with a major blooper, getting rejected by the rim. This shot for $1 million is Money in the Bank. New millionaire Don Calhoun takes his place among some other money ball players. The Chicago Bulls, a very timely shot coming the night before tax deadline. Thursday, Celtics down by 1, time running down. The general, Sherman Douglas, takes the charge and nails it for the win. And look at this kid, he's still going strong.